Good evening, baseball fans. It is Tuesday, September 3rd, and I want to apologize. It's Suzy, and you probably are like, I don't even recognize this girl's voice any longer because it's been just a hot minute since we've recorded, and that's mainly my fault. And technically, it was my fault because the AC was out and I didn't break the AC, but the AC decided to die. And then we just had some super loud window units going and portable AC units going. It was a mess. It was a mess. Regardless, we are here now. I'm Suzy. That is Tom. This is Bourbon and Baseball, Astros edition. You know how we do. And before we get started, I'm going to give you the rated R warning right off the top. This is a rated R podcast. So if you have littles in the room or if you're listening in the car, put some earmuffs on or click pause and listen another time. I don't know. I'm not going to judge, but just know that there are some really good four-letter words that will come out of my mouth, probably Tom's mouth, some inappropriate adult humor, just because that's just who I am as a person. And I don't want you to get mad at me and send me mean DMs. I don't want that in my life. So here's the warning. If you don't take heed, that's on you, not me. I'm not going to judge though. Again, you want your kids to listen? By all means. So with that, funny story. One of my children has just full on embraced the Astros love, baseball love, really. And legitimately every morning asks me, did the Mariners win? I have to tell her no. And then she will now watch parts of the game and just mimic what I have said in past games, and it's just the funniest thing in the entire world. In I don't know, 11 years or so, if she still likes me, maybe she'll be on the podcast with me as like the third co-host, who knows? But it's hysterical listening to her talk about baseball. And again, if you had told 12-year-old Suzy that A, that she would be obsessed with baseball, and then B, the child would be obsessed with baseball because you are obsessed with baseball. Dirty, filthy liar. Dirty, filthy liar, I'm just saying.
I
But
just want
besides
to
that,
say that you and your mister are doing it right because your girls are asking what is going on. I cannot say the same. My boys will ask me about the Astros, but it's more like a courtesy to me, not because they care. It's more like we know dad loves that. So we're gonna be interested for dad. Hey dad, how's the Astros doing? He's does that Springer guy still play for them? The guy whose jersey you got in the closet? No, son. No, George does
that's
not play there anymore. He goes, oh, but he was
mm-mm.
really good though. Yeah, yeah, he was really good. They're doing good though. I'm like, yeah. What about the Correa guy with the other jersey in your closet? And I'm like, no. But they mean, I
Okay.
just want you to know, yours being diehards, I will gladly relinquish the chair to one of your little ladies to come up here and do this. That would be awesome. I can only imagine that they will also use all of those four-letter words that we tell everyone else's kids not to use because there's no way they're not with every pitch. What are you doing, ump? Like their mother.
There was just a cornucopia of just horrible umpiring across the league today. And the Stros didn't even play. I am getting offended for teams that I don't even I have a little bit of rooting interest just because I love baseball, but just absolute ridiculousness. I was watching the Orioles White Sox game and Grady Sizemore got ejected because he's arguing balls and strikes, and rightly so, because pitch 3 that was almost exactly the same spot as ball 2 got called a strike. What are we doing? Grady Sizemore comes out, he gets ejected, and then the last pitch of that at bat, outside, and it's almost in the other batter's box. It's a good 3, 4 inches off the zone. Benintendi gets ejected. I don't even like the White Sox, but I get you. It's already like 9-0. Hunter Wendelstad is, we gotta get the fuck out of here. But come on now. We can make it a little bit closer. And at the very least, maybe not eject a motherfucker because you're bad at your job, Hunter Wendelstad. Hunter Wendelstad is possibly the new Angel Hernandez. Again, if we know the umpires' names, it's not a good thing.
I would have said Phil Cuzzy the other day. I absolutely would have said Phil Cuzzy.
We're gonna get into Phil Cuzzy. Phil Cuzzy. Ay, yeah. But first, like I said, it has been a hot minute since we've recorded last. Lots of things have gone on since the last time we recorded. Quite honestly, I don't even remember what we talked about the last episode. So we're only going to go back to the last series, the Royals series. And in case you guys are not aware, a 4-game sweep. It's not
Mop.
called a sweep. It is a mop. It is a mop, people, and that is credit to Cespedes Family Barbecue, super cool podcast over there that apparently just really dislikes the Astros, but Astros are inevitable. There's the word. There's the correct word that we're looking for. And credit to them, 4-game sweep. is a mop, and it's very fucking hard to do. But guess what? Astros did it. Astros did it, and I think we broke the Royals, though, guys. Like, physically, we broke the Royals, and then I think we broke their spirits
Spiritually.
because just I it was not it's not been a good time if you're a Royals fan now. Kelsey and I from the All the Balls edition of Bourbon and Baseball, we said from the very, very beginning of the season, the Royals are for real. The Royals are for real. And everyone laughed at us and they're like, it's the Royals. Come on now. And we said, okay, just keep an eye out for the Royals. And sure enough, here they come. And they had just gotten done taking 3 of 4 from the first place Guardians. And then they came in and Astro said, mm-mm,
They took over
not
first
in my
place.
house, motherfucker. Yep, for a hot second. For a hot second. And the first game, now credit to the Royals though. Credit to the Royals because their starting pitching, which we had been touting all season long, did hold it down for the first 2 times through the order, right? But that 5th, 6th, 7th inning, I don't know if it was that 3rd time through the order and they just 2 times is enough. Astros said, "We're good now. We got it." And they figured it out or what? Because each of those games, the starting pitching held it down. And then either the bullpen came in for the Royals and gave it up, or the starting pitching, the 5th, 6th inning gave it up. So, shout out to our starters that held it down. I think in one game, I think the Royals led for a hot second. So, it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling here in Astroville. The nice, warm, cozy feeling of, "Oh, hey, remember who the fuck we are?" And who would have thought at the very beginning of the season that the starting pitching that was just absolute trash. Come on now. There's no way you saw Spencer Arrighetti turning it around this hard.
No one did. No one did. But I'll be the first to tell you that I believe that he could. He was too young. We had different shows where we talked about Hunter and Spencer and their struggles. Kansas City put 11 runs on Hunter Brown, and all of Astros Twitter wanted that man strapped to a rocket and back to Sugarland because, bro, the lights were too bright. It's too big. And now he's the motherfucking ace. I'll say that.
Now, first start for Hunter Brown, the Royals took it to him.
So,
And Hunter Brown said, "Nuh-uh, not this fucking time."
so one thing I want to say, huge shout out to the newcomers to the club because without them, they don't win these series, as Suzy likes to say. Jason Hayward hits the double that gets the 2 runs, gets that party started in that game. Ben Gamble's been fantastic with the leather and with the bat. So I feel like with these 2 additions, there needs to be some love for Dana Brown. Dana Brown has done his job. You can say what you want about the offseason and how it didn't go and how you didn't like and what they didn't do and what they should have done, but Dana has cooked. And I will sit up here right now because I know this is coming and I'm prepared to eat it. He cooked with the Kikuchi trade. I still don't like it if they don't resign him. This will be my argument because that was a lot to give away for a rental. But Kikuchi has been as advertised, as Suzy has constantly let me know. Other members of baseball Twitter has constantly let me know this dude was better than his numbers. That's fair. He's been really
Get
good.
listen, he's getting his 14 hours of requisite sleep, all right? I'm sure after all of his W's, because we have won every single start that Kikuchi has pitched for us. So he's sipping on that good ass scotch. I think it's scotch that
Ooh,
it's I think it's scotch. He's got like a $3,000 bottle of scotch. Maybe it's
I need to
bourbon.
know
I
what
don't
this
know.
is. Yeah, that's interesting. I did not know that.
I'm gonna try and find the article that I read that information. The 14 hours of sleep, I think everybody knew. But apparently after W's, he breaks out the bottle of very expensive scotch or bourbon. Quite honestly, I don't have a fucking clue if they're any different. Who the fuck knows?
Us recording
Don't
as
tell
a
anybody.
W,
I don't know.
so I broke out a little something.
Okay.
It,
What do you
it,
got over there?
it is Crown Blackberry and Lemonade. It is very good.
Crown, blackberry, and lemonade. Oh,
The
that
lemonade is
sounds
like
lovely.
simply lemonade, but the Crown Blackberry is like a limited time flavor or whatever. Good.
So it's kind of fruity, but not.
Exactly.
It's still got the bite of the
Yeah.
crown.
Yeah. A little tart, a little bite at the end, and good to go.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So that first game is 6-3. Brian Abreu comes in, and Brian Abreu is the one who gives up the runs. Again, we can argue rest versus rust all day, every day until we're blue in the fucking face. I don't know if I am 1000% prepared to put my life on the line if it's Brian Abreu. I'm like 87% there.
I need you to answer this for me, honestly, for everyone.
Okay.
What reliever are you that way with?
At this point in time, none of them. No, they've all made certain orifices of mine just clench in so much stress and agony, and I just okay, I don't know. I don't know. But that first game, unfortunately, there was a whole slew of mishaps that happened. Yainer Diaz runs hard through first base. Vinny Pascantino, the Royals first baseman, is trying to make a play. Unfortunately, breaks a thumb, is going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks, needs surgery on it. That same play, before all that, the comebacker to Lucas Urseg, who they acquired from the A's as their new closer, had been doing great for them. Takes a comebacker to like the hand, like he tries to bare hand catch this. I realize it's a reflex. I understand. But come on now. That thing is coming at you. Like put a glove up. Just cover your face up to try and but bare hand catch. People, come on now. Like I understand. Pitchers are athletes too. Okay, I know. I felt bad. And he felt bad. I felt bad for everybody, and then I was overjoyed because it gave us runs, but I felt very bad, and Vinny Pascantino is the protection for Bobby Witt Jr., and without Vinny, Bobby ain't doing shit,
Bobby struggled.
and shout out to our pitchers, literally all of our pitchers, except for Hector Neris, because apparently Bobby Witt Jr. has Hector Neris's number. We had held Bobby Witt Jr. hitless, people. Now, to put this in context, I think the last time he hadn't recorded a knock in a game was, I think, back in June. June. So Bobby Witt is so good at fucking baseball. This motherfucker just comes to the yard every single day, gets a knock. He just expects a knock because he's that good. Not against Astros, Hector Neris, but literally, I think the 2 home runs that he hit off of Hector Neris were the only hits that he had. And you want to know why the Royals didn't score any runs? Is because we were able to keep Bobby Witt Jr. off the base paths and not stealing bags. I also said, I'm not worried about when the Royals come to Minute Maid Park because the home road splits for the Royals away from Kauffman Stadium. I need to know. I need to know what the actual fuck is going on and why, how the home road splits are so vastly different. I understand that it's a pitcher's park in Kauffman, but the home road splits are almost as dynamic as Jordan away from Minute Maid. It is a stark difference. Bobby Wood Jr. is mortal away from Kauffman Stadium. I'm all, what are we doing? I don't understand. Why? And it's not the Guardians have the wind tunnel.
Maybe it's the batter's eye. They've got like a fountain back there or something. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Don't know. We'll see. We shall see. But so because Vinny Pascantino got hurt, they made a flurry of moves and they picked up Yuli Gurriel to play first base for him. He's been in the Braves system. He was down in Gwinnett, which is their AAA team. So he is playing first base while Salvi catches. If Salvi is playing first base, then Freddie Fermin is going to catch. They picked up Robbie Grossman to DH, and they picked up Tommy Pham. And those were some key contributors. They drove in some runs. They had some really good at bats. Not Robbie Grossman, but Yuli, Tommy Pham. And so Tommy Pham apparently asked the Cardinals for his release so that he could go hopefully to a contending team. And the Royals said, okay. And I guess the Royals had tried to pick up Tommy Pham at the trade deadline. And the Cardinals said, no, we're not going to trade him. So congrats to the Royals. And I think we talk about veteran presence a lot. And I think that between Salvi and Tommy Pham, with that morale going down with Vinny being hurt, I think it's going to help. But we broke their spirit the first game, guys, because after that, I think the tide kind of changed and you can feel the energy. So that was the Thursday game. The Friday game, it was 3-2. That was the game that Ben Gamel homered. Not going to lie, when Dana Brown went and got Ben Gamel, I was shockingly disturbed. What are we doing? Why? He sucks. All of the Mets friends said, you picked up Ben Gamel. Looking at the numbers, all right, got DFA'd. What are we doing? And all he's done since he's come over has put together great at bats, gotten on base, made some great defensive plays. I'm gonna eat my words. And all of our Mets friends are like, the Astros are doing that thing again where they're taking everybody's cast-offs and making them fucking great. What are you doing? Don't know. Don't know. Being inevitable?
Real quick, one thing I want to say, I know the Vinny thing sucked. You hate to see anybody get hurt because you'd rather beat these guys at their best than down, whatever. However, in the words of the movie Moneyball, how can you not be romantic about baseball? Because this gave us the opportunity to properly do Yuli right. This was his first time coming back to Minute Maid, to have him up there in front of all his guys, to have the video tribute. I know that the fans didn't necessarily make it to the ballpark on time. It was really not enough for me. Like I looked, like I watched the game and I'm like, where's everybody at? And I'm like, I know Houston's bad. We're not in our seat when the game starts. To do the video board thing and to have Yuli come up and have his guys out there clapping for him, I thought that was great. You always want to see those kind of heroes honored. And I feel like that's the best way in baseball to honor a dude. He comes back to the ballpark, you play it, everybody remembers what he was, he gets the standing O. Yuli got that, and I thought that was great. Hate to see Vinny get hurt, but I think this was cool how it all worked out. That Yuli got his moment at Minute Maid, and then the Astros did the thing. I thought it was great too that Yuli got the RBI. I was like, when it happened, I was like that's
Nope.
the guy that hit the other. Like it wasn't the other way. He pulled it a little bit, but it was just like that's what we come to know as Yuli Gurriel, and I thought it was really cool.
Absolutely. And admin, socials admin, what are we doing? Why I get that he's on the Royals. I understand. The without Yuli, that 17 ring, I don't think you'd have. Again, that's before baseball Suzy. But
Gurriel ties it. It's iconic. Like off Kershaw. I mean, really?
mhm.
Pay that man his
So
respect.
so why what are we doing? Why are we not posting that to socials so that we can properly, I don't know, all of the people that weren't at the game could properly appreciate the video, retweet whatever. I think I retweeted someone's video that they had taken of the scoreboard. Come on now. We can do better than that. And I'm 99% sure there's gonna be that 1%, the curmudgeon old fucks that are gonna be like, "He's not on our team. Why are we posting a Stop it. Just fucking stop it, okay? Again, without him, we wouldn't have gotten that 17 ring. The 22 ring, we talked about playoff Yuli. We talked about
He
playoff
showed up.
Yuli.
He
He
showed
showed
up.
up. Arrested Yuli is
Bad motherfucker.
plays plays like the Yuli we remember. And I love everybody, but everyone's bring Yuli home. Why? Guys, again, love Yuli, but I think you're trying to remember 17 Yuli and not 22 Yuli, the Yuli that they played every single day.
I
That
would
we just
disagree with you
drove into the ground.
because I would have brought Yuli home in the same way that everybody's like, bring Hector home. You needed a platoon first baseman. You still need a platoon first baseman with Big John, who bats from the right hand side. Right now, we got Victor Caratini doing it, Dubon doing it. You're telling me Yuli couldn't have took those ABs? Just saying.
I don't know,
Defense is better
but
too. His
but
defense is his
40
premier.
But 40-year-old Julie already went down with hamstring tightness. He was already down with hamstring tightness before he came to the Royals and left the game precautionarily 2 games ago, yesterday. Didn't play in today's game. I think they said he's actually
Midday.
okay, but a 40-year-old hamstring, I understand that Yuli is an elite athlete and probably takes way better care of his body than, like, this trash bucket here, but
Stop.
it's I'm telling you guys, you youngins out there, don't take it for granted. I I get up in the morning and I stand up and things hurt. What the fuck? What I didn't do shit. I didn't do shit. I slept up on Justin Verlander's pillow that gave him a neck ache, apparently. I don't know. I'm just saying, guys. It's just 40-year-olds don't recover like the youngins do. All right. I just want to again state why the fuck we did not get the confirmation of a fractured fucking shin of Kyle Tucker earlier than this. People, Astros organization, why? We should be used to it by now because they're shady with all the shit. But we all, unless you've been living under a rock, literally, we all knew without knowing that there had to have been an actual reason besides a bruised bone that Kyle Tucker wasn't playing. It's because there's a fucking fracture in there. I don't understand why. I don't understand why they couldn't have just said, hey, it is actually fractured. He's going to be out for a while.
So let me ask you this: what would that have changed?
The line of questioning that I don't understand why you couldn't just be forthright with it. Because literally Dana Brown 2 days ago said, "No, there's no fracture. It's just a deep bone bruise." And then it comes out, "Oh, it actually is a fracture." What?
So I thought about that too, and I'm glad you brought it up because here's what I think happened, and here's why I think they didn't talk about it, and here's why I think it makes sense because you remember. Let's go back in time a little bit. Carlos Correa signs with the Twins, and he had something with his ankle, and they were talking about sending him to the Giants, and
Mhm.
we never heard of this ankle thing. We saw it. They literally Twitter went on the and found where his ankle got all the way fucked up. But they put that under wraps. And I think that was to give because I think A, Carlos and his representation asked for it because they didn't want that to be an issue signing somewhere else. And B, it was good faith. Good, we'll do this for you. Maybe you scratch our back later. So I say that to say if Tuck and his people went to Dana and them and said, we don't want this out. We want Tuck's an impending free agent in 2 years, whatever.
Mhm.
If he went to them and said, look, we don't want to talk about it. We're going to call it what it is. And this is what we want. And if y'all do that for us, we'd appreciate it. And Dana said, absolutely. We want Tuck to stay here. So if he says, don't talk about it, we're going to not talk about it. And then he shows up to all the games and he does his part and everything is everything. Now, Tuck and his people may have had an ulterior motive to drive up his price and whatever, blah, 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 because you don't want that to be a potential, wait, I don't know about this leg. It's got a fracture in it or had a fracture in it. I'm concerned about it. So I think that as much as everybody wants to go at the Astros organization, and I agree, there's some forthrightness that they should have. If Tuck and his people said, "Hey, don't say nothing," and they obliged, and it didn't hurt anyone, it did not change what his status was. It did not. They didn't carry him, so it wasn't like it hurt them like a body. Like he was on the team. He showed up. He was there. He was a good sport. Whatever. Blah blah blah. We just hate that we're being lied to. But in the end game, nothing changed. So I don't necessarily care.
If you don't care that the team that you love is lying to you, then that's on you. I want some honesty. No, I don't give a fuck. I actually do give a fuck, but it's one of those things where it's so funny looking at how the Astros organization deals with injuries and how they report it versus other teams. Because some other teams are fucking every fucking day. They have an injury report every day
So I know you are
that lays it
base.
out,
I know you're a baseball Susie, literally right here, baseball Susie, and
literally.
baseball specific. Every other sport, there are teams that do this. Good teams that don't tell you shit because they want you to prepare for Kyle Tucker. You don't know if you're going to get him or not, but we want you to prepare. The New England Patriots. I know you're not football Susie yet. We're working on it. The New England Patriots for decades lied to everyone. Never told them shit. Dude's leg would be like dragging behind him. We don't know. We'll let you know when we know. Just and their head coach was notorious about telling you nothing. Their GM nothing, and it was like we don't have to tell you at the
Isn't
before the
there
game happens.
isn't there a rule though or something that you have to disclose injuries or something for betting purposes?
So that came out because of that. But they still have up until a certain point in time where there's like different levels in football now where you can rule them out day one, or you can wait all the way till Thursday and then rule them out. And it's the same premise
Interesting.
where
Okay.
we don't have to tell you. Basketball, if they want to rest for what they call load management, they can wait all the way up until fatigued. We don't want to play them. And people in basketball were really upset because they're paying all this money to see this player. There's nothing wrong with him, but basketball players got to a point with over an 82 game season. It was just too much. LeBron takes 2 weeks off a year somewhere all the time for something. And it's
Like in
like
the
the
middle of the
biggest,
season?
basically, it's the biggest
Oh, okay.
non secret out there is that this is him load managing. Tweak my ankle, hamstring's a little tight, felt a little something in my back.
Interesting. Okay.
Mhm.
All
So
right. Well,
if you feel like the Astros are doing some shady shit, they've learned it from the best.
they have apparently. So that's fine. Whatever. So again, the report has finally come out. They have finally confirmed that there is an actual fracture in Kyle Tucker's shin, but he is running at 85%. There has been videos on Twitter of him running the bases, taking hacks, and we have done we have done all of this winning on the backs of our starting pitching
Young starting pitching.
and yes, and various players getting hot while other players get cold, and not all the hot cold streaks have matched up.
Except for
Thankfully,
your motherfucking
thankfully,
catcher. Except for my motherfucking catcher. Except for our motherfucking catcher. This shows. Okay, I'm sorry.
absolutely, absolutely. Yainer, fucking Diaz, and unless you're new around here, y'all will know that we have been screaming from the rooftops about this guy since last season. We wanted this guy. We're not gonna beat the dead horse. We've already beaten him to a bloody pulp. But it is absolutely hysterical when the national podcasts talk about this team and they mention Jordan, they mention Altuve, they mention Bregman. Not a one of them mentions the RBI leader of the team. That would be one Yainer Diaz, people. Yainer Diaz with 75 ribbies. And it warms my heart. It warms my heart to know how right we were about this guy. And it was a little slow, but he found his groove and we're good now. We're good. I love it. I love him. And everyone, not everyone, but there have been some outlets, some people that are like, oh, he doesn't hit home runs. It's going to come, people. The power will come back. But the fact that he is not swinging as freely outside of the zone, he is taking what is given to him, going the other way with it, shooting in the gap, and getting those RBIs. And I would much rather him drive in a couple of runs than try and get a 3-run bomb. Do we love the bombs? Absolutely we do. But you know what? Driving the runs when you can, the power will come. And I am 1000% okay with that. Another injury update, we essentially beat the Royals without Bregman as well, because there is some sort of barky elbow. That is the actual medical term for that. I think immediately after whenever our season is done, hopefully it ends in a parade, that Bregman will have some sort of off-season surgery. I hope to God it's not Tommy John.
Why?
Because I don't want it to affect next season, even though I don't know if he will be here next season. I know for hitters, Tommy John is not as ridiculous. He could be Bryce Harper and do all that. It scares me. The fact that it's his elbow and it hurts worse when he's batting. That's I don't know. So the fact that we're gonna trade out Tucker for Breggs, cool. All
Tag.
right. And they sent down Chas McCormick. Sent down Chas McCormick and then brought him back immediately because Jake, congrats on the sex, sir. You're a dad of 2 now. Jake Myers goes on the paternity list. Amen. Chas went down to Sugarland, got a couple of reps in, got some hits in, came back and looked a lot better at the plate. Looked a lot better at the plate. And we ended, I know we said that we're only going to go over the Royal Series, but we got to hit that last Phillies game because we got to give our flowers to Spencer Arrighetti. We're going to give Spencer Arrighetti all his flowers shortly, but Spencer Arrighetti shoved in that game. Chas ended that game hitting a pinch hit 2-run bomb and then promptly got sent down. But he has been looking better since he came back up, not swinging at literally everything. And when he has made contact, they've been hard hit balls. And so hopefully it gets him right. And hopefully we will get him back sooner rather than later. We went out and got Jason Hayward. We went out and got Ben Gamel. Really, if you had told preseason us, hey, come like August, your outfield is going to be Jason Hayward, Ben Gamel, and Mauricio Dubon, you would have called us filthy liars, right? Because at no point in time did you expect Spencer Arrighetti to be a young strikeout king and that be your outfield. If you did, give us the lotto numbers because you would be clairvoyant.
I only
Clairvoyant?
want 5 of them. I don't even need all of them. $1 million is all I'm asking. I'm not even greedy with it. Real quick on Yainer Diaz, the homer nonsense is absolutely that. Cal Raleigh leads all catchers with 28 homers, but Yainer has 16, and there's this glutton right there in between from 5 to 9 where Yainer is. That's 18, 18, 17, 17. So is there a couple homers he probably could hit more that would make him look better? Yes, but the dude has a 300 batting average. No other catcher has that. And he slugs up there with all of them, even without the homers. So
Yeah.
118 WRC plus.
And when he does hit him out, it looks so effortless. I say kid because he essentially is. He's 25,
25.
and he's just so fucking strong. It's just like a flick of the wrist, and you're like, "Oh, that ball's gone. All right. We love that. Hooray." And the wheels in this kid, man, the fact that he can run you first to third. Love that on a catcher. August essentially was the Astros month. All of the starting pitching, all of the relievers. And Josh Hader's consecutive save streak, unfortunately, was broken. That's not on Josh Hader. It is because he gave up a homer, but it wouldn't have been if our Gold Glove shortstop, Jeremy Pena, hadn't have made an error that got the runner on first.
I got a question.
Yes.
If you're Alex Bregman and you don't have a Gold Glove, and you watch Jeremy Pena make all these errors, and he does have one, how do you feel?
Like, you
I
wanna
watched the other
punch Jeremy
night.
Pena in the nuts.
I watched the other night, and I was like, man, he's got to be so angry. I can't do anything to get a Gold Glove, and I make web gems over here left and right, and other guys get them.
And the fact that we have so many 7-inning no-hit bids, and Jeremy Pena is making the amazing Gold Glove defensive plays to keep said no-hitter intact, and yet is gonna bobble at the play that he should make. Why, Jeremy Pena? Why? What are we doing? It makes me mad. It makes me so angry. So angry. But that has been part of the issues. We came back from that long ass road trip, 18 games, and it was 10-8. And if it wasn't for a couple of errors in 2 of those games, it'd be 13-5. That's how that works, right? Yeah, math. Not a math pod. Not a math pod. But the errors that we don't normally do are what hurt us. But hopefully we can clean it up. Hopefully we just got it all of our system, all out of our system. There we go. And from here on out, it won't be like that. Fingers crossed. I don't know.
Did you know that Oakland beat Seattle?
Let's fucking go. At the time that we started recording, it was tied 2-2 on solo bombs by Lawrence Butler and Seth Brown. What was the score?
They got walked off again.
Oh, yes. Oh, back-to-back nights of walk-offs?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Who did it this time?
Let me see.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's got to be like heartbreaking. Like, absolutely, like, I don't want to play anymore. Seth Brown singles on a ground ball to center field to Julio Rodriguez. JJ Bleday scores. Shea
JJ
Langoliers.
Bleday Day, baby. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, no. Shea Bangoliers, their catcher walked him off last night with a bomb. And that's
Thornton with the
love that.
loss.
And they've been riding Andres Munoz hard. That's what she said. And so last night wasn't Andres Munoz, it was Austin Voth, I think.
Mhm.
Tonight was Trent Thornton. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. Cal Raleigh's over here like, I can't do any more, guys. I'm literally doing all that I can.
Yeah, he doubled in a run.
Last night, I want to say he put him up 2-0 with a 2-run bomb. So literally, Cal Raleigh is their offense. Went into the net, I think, in last night's game, cut his fingers open, taped that shit up, and went back into the game. And as much shit as we like to talk about Cal Raleigh, motherfuckers, he's a grinder, and you ain't taking him out of the game. Speaking of taking out of the game, did you watch the first Cincinnati Reds game?
I did. I did.
In the 4th inning, when JV had already allowed 2 runners on.
It was the 5th.
It was already. Was it the
4th?
5th? Okay.
Yeah, it was the 5th. Yep.
All right. And it was already getting up there in pitch count. And Joe Espada goes out there. If you're Joe Espada, are you leaving JV out there?
So I'm glad you asked this question because I would love to answer it. I truly believe that when you have a 6-game lead, you can do that. You can afford to listen to your guy, be a player's coach. Trust my guy to get it done. Everybody, there was this thing like before the game started where people were upset. And I say certain people on Twitter were upset because Alex Bregman wasn't in the lineup, even though he was available the day prior. They're like, why is that? This is dumb. Why aren't they playing Alex Bregman? They should play Alex Bregman. To which I responded, it's because they have a 6-game lead in the division. You can absolutely do things that you would not do if you absolutely had to have this game because you have a 6-game lead in the division. Alex Bregman took a seat. People were upset with the no from, I think it was Framber's last outing or was it Arrighetti? I can't remember. I think it was Spencer. It was Spencer's outing where they pulled Bregman. And it's like, why didn't you protect the no? You got to leave Bregman in there because Shea Whitcomb made a play that ended up costing the hit and blah, blah, blah. You do this because health is the biggest concern right now. Now, some physical, but I think for Verlander, this was a mental thing. This is a 41-year-old warrior who's seen it all, who's done it all. If I ask for the ball, you give me the fucking ball. And I think that's what Espada did. He said, look, We need this. You got this? I got this. Give me the ball. Gave him the ball. You
But his
want
pitch count was already up there. It was already 6.
I think it was at 100. But the point is, you want him to ask for the ball. It would have been worse if Verlander, nah, I'm done. Here, I'm washed. Here's the ball. You want him to fight.
I get it. Yeah, I understand that. Yes, for sure. But he was already at 100 pitches. You said yourself, he's 41 years old. We all know that JV is not gonna go quietly into the night, but sometimes maybe we gotta protect them from themselves.
Here's the thing, too. Verlander's been on the shelf for months. So part of this, I think, is him saying, I've got to be able to do this. If I'm going to be any good to you in October, I've got to be able to throw 110. I got to be able to get through 5 innings because you can't lean on the bullpen in the postseason. If this is your starter, he's got to give you 5. He's, look, I can go get you one more out so you don't have to burn a pen arm like they did with, was it Ort, for 1 out.
Oh, yeah.
And you just don't want to do that. And Verlander understood that. He's, look, I've got some wear and tear because I haven't been pitching. Let me go get one more out. And while a lot of people were upset with Verlander because he's got a big ass bar to live up to because everybody else is friggin' shoving and going 7 innings, I'm like, up until that play, Verlander was going, he gets the out, he goes 5 innings, he gives up 2 runs. You take that. You absolutely fucking take that. And you go, thank you, Justin, pat on the butt, and you send him back to the bench. You go, okay, bullpen, go get it done. Now, did he get the out? No. That bloop that fell in was ass. It was garbage. That's an out 99% of the time. It just wasn't his day. And I understand people want to win every game. We all have certain people that are just like, nope, they can't lose. How dare they? They offended my mother by losing on Tuesday. And it's going to happen. So
Yes,
I
yeah.
hate it for Justin because he needs a good start. He needs a good start for his mentals. There were some pitches that he threw were great. And there was a shitty umpire. And I can't change the fact that the umpire's ass. MLB's got a problem all the way around, not just in an Astros game. So at some point, you got to step back and go, okay, let me look at everything, understand, still got a 6-game lead. They weren't out of that game even with that because you got an offense that can go score runs. Show a little faith in your guy that's been on your team for friggin', what is it, 7 years now? It's going to be a fucking Hall of Famer, and you want him to wear an Astros hat into the Hall.
This is true. This is true. On the topic of all of our pitchers, let's talk about the pitchers because August rolled around, and I don't know if you guys know this or not, but we have 2, count them, 2 players of the month in Josh Hader, reliever of the month, and Spencer Arrighetti. Spencer freaking Arrighetti. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him for literally working his ass off and figuring it out in the big leagues because we all know about his horrible starts in the beginning. And let's be really honest, probably could have used one more season in AAA to work out all the kinks. But that's what those kinks were at the beginning of the season. And now he's just coming up here and putting up historic numbers. Historic. What was that stat with Kerry Wood? That
Strikeouts
you know what
in
I'm
a
talking
month,
about?
I
Yeah.
think it was. Yeah.
Literally only one other pitcher, rookie pitcher, had ever done it, and it was Kerry Wood. He is putting up numbers like young Jacob deGrom. I'm sorry, what? Okay, Spencer Arrighetti, and everyone can shit on our farm system as much as y'all want, but they literally keep churning out these players that burst onto the scene and nobody hears about. I think is this 5 years running now? Last season, it was Hunter. The season before that was CJ, right? Luis Garcia.
You're just
I
talking
mean,
pitchers, or you're talking about in general?
in general, yeah, I realize we traded for Yainer Diaz, but even Yainer Diaz doing what he did last season and getting all of the top 5 rookie of the year votes.
You go
And
one more year back and you got Jeremy Pena.
and yet everyone is saying, "Oh, yeah, no, the Astros have the either the 29th or the 30th farm system." But yet literally all of the players that come up here, go to other organizations, are killing it. So, miss me with all of that shit about how bad our farm system is because apparently our development fucking rocks.
I want the league to keep sleeping on the Astros. You rank them 30,000. I don't give a fuck what you rank them. Because every time, because Astros Future, who, if you're not following, you should, he's constantly pouring out great content with all the young guys, and you just see him little by little get developed and brought up. And I saw Spencer come in 2 years ago. He was like, there's these 2 monster K guys. Spencer Arrighetti's got a chance to be really good. I credit all of that to him. And yeah, I'm not surprised at all. What I love is this is how you keep these windows open that everybody talks about with World Series and playoff and ALCS aspirations. You have to be able to constantly infuse with young talent. And when you turn around and you look at this roster and you go, Spencer Arrighetti's 24, Hunter Brown's 25, Yainer Diaz is 25, Jeremy Pena, I think, is 27. And it's just,
7.
yeah. And it's like all of these young guys. And then you can go out and add studs when you need to add them. And then you've got Hall of Famers
Tuck
on the
and
back end.
Tuck
Yeah.
and Jordan, obviously 27. Oh, yeah. When we say that this is the golden era of baseball, guys, that we're literally witnessing history in the organization, and I am spoiled. We are all spoiled, and I don't think we're recognizing that enough of how ridiculous this run has actually been. If you look no farther than South Oklahoma and was it 35? I don't know how to get to fucking Dallas, but
45.
45? Fuck but not. Listen, I get in the car, if I'm not driving, I fucking go to sleep. I don't know how to
Passenger
get there.
princess.
Just me in the car. I have carcolepsy. It's a thing. I don't know. So the Texas Rangers are literally 9.5 back from us. They won the World Series last season. They shouldn't have, but they did. They did. They are the reigning World Series champion. And no one is talking about them besides, oh my God, do you see how poorly they're doing? They walked off the Yankees tonight. But that is one of those games where I look at both of them. I'm like, shit, I don't know who I want to win. Or can they both lose? Can that be a thing? I would like that to be a thing. They can't. They won it all, and now they fell off. So the fact that we literally every single season at least get to the CS, you can say what y'all want about the Astros organization, the development, the culture, and literally everyone that is not an Astros fan, we are the big bad boogeyman. And let's, God damn it, they're doing it again. Fuck. And we've beat them into submission, literally. They like I have seen so many people that are just almost doing the shrug emoji and just throwing their hands up in the air and just, okay, fine. Yep, it's the Astros. They're doing the thing again. I love it.
And I love how you brought up the Rangers because it's a really good one build compared to the other, where we just got done talking about all this young talent that the Astros have with respect to certain pitchers and skill positions. The Rangers really went all in, chips in with a bunch of older guys. They've got some young guys too, but it's really not to that level. You look at their rotation, it was decimated by injuries. Ours was too, but the ability to bring up young talent to circumvent that, they just don't have it. And then when guys like Seager, or Simeon, or Adolis go down for steroid, whatever reason he's hurt, they don't know how to fill those roles. The Astros find a way, and it's been really fun to be on this side of it, especially to before the golden era, to live that and then walking into the light now and just this is where we are. The Texans are
I
about to
don't
do
know.
the same
I
thing.
only know about the light. So this is I only know about the light.
There was some dark days, but the Texans are about to do the same thing, and it's a great time to be a Houston sports fan. Even the Dynamo, which I know people are like, "What's soccer?" But yes, they're doing the same thing.
Oh, yay for football. I so let's go back and talk about our amazing pitchers and how well they've done in the month of August. Literally, this is a graphic that they had up during one of the games in Spencer Arrighetti since August 1st, 32.1 innings pitched, a 1.95 ERA, a .168 opponent's average. That means literally he is keeping the guys off the base paths and not even hitting 200 and has K'd 47. Strikeout king. Strikeout king. Hunter Brown has pitched 31 innings with a 1.45 ERA, holding the opponents down to a .160 and holding the opponent's slug down to 1.98, meaning not giving up hard hit balls. Framber Valdez in August has pitched 34 innings with a 1.59 ERA, held the opponents to a .118, and held the opponent's slug down to a .182. What? There's also been ridiculous stats out there, like the Astros have the most 7-inning no-hit bids, or taking a no-hitter into the 7th inning or later, than any other franchise in, like, the modern era. Houston Astros. Love that.
I
Fucking
really
love
love how the rotation's set up too. It's really got to be so frustrating for another team to go, okay, if say I miss Arrighetti and I get Hunter, okay, now I've got the young guy who gets up to 97, 98 when he wants to, Verlander clone, who's got all of the very similar pitch mix and locates really well. And then I get Fromber from the lefty, who's up there also can throw a very good fastball, but they've got this devastating curveball that he's leaning back into. Ton of ground ball action. Then Yusei, who's turning around, also from the left side, and then I got Rennell, and then I got Spencer again or JV, and it's just there is not a break for anybody in there where you're like, where's the five guy that I'm gonna get to pick on? Other teams have guys that are like 4-10 that you're like, he's got a 5 ERA. I should be able to tee off on him. There's no such thing in the Astros rotation
Right.
right now, even in the
Well,
six
I
man
mean,
scenario.
Ronell is tired, and Ronell, sir, you take your walk to the bullpen and enjoy your time off for just a little bit. You held it together when literally nobody else in this rotation could. He was our ace. He is tired. I get it. Ronell is gonna go probably into the bullpen, and it's probably gonna go back into a five-man rotation here, and at this point in time, it, like you said, looks fucking devastating. Since Yusei Kikuchi has come over, again, a graphic from in the game, since Yusei Kikuchi has come over in 6 starts, has a 2.57 ERA, has pitched 35 innings, 47 Ks, 10 walks, really limiting the walks. We love that. Has held down opponents to a .178 average, and in the 115.2 innings pitched with Toronto before the trade deadline, he had a 4.75 ERA, almost a 5 ERA, guys. And I've listened to various national podcasts that are much more analytically driven than this is. And everyone's like, how are they doing it? What are they doing? What's going on? And besides the whole, hey, the changeup is your best pitch, lean into that. It's literally changeup slider, because apparently they tunnel off of one another really well. Still throwing a curveball, but way less, and the his four-seam fastball, he's gotten off of that, but he's still throwing it enough to where they're not sitting on
Dead
the
red.
changeup and slider. And him and Victor Caratini have worked really well together. I don't remember if I talked about it, but apparently Victor Caratini was Yu Darvish's personal catcher when they played together, and so that's why Victor Caratini has been Yusei's kind of personal catcher. And all of these little puzzle pieces that just are being able to fit together, and this lineup is being held together with glue
Duct
and
tape.
vibes and duct tape. Like, it's again, Jason Hayward has come in, Ben Gamel has come in and tried to give any sort of offensive production from the, I think we have either the worst or like the 29th ranked outfield production. And that's saying something because the White Sox exist, guys. That's, oh,
Luis
oof.
Roberts out hitting them all by himself.
Ay. The game tonight versus the Orioles, Miguel Vargas went out to try and get a ball and literally ran into, I think, Benintendi, literally ran into him, collided on the field. He got up and you could already see the fucking like lump forming on his cheek. And he's trying to stay in the game. Good on you, Miguel Vargas. But sir, your eye is swelling shut. I don't think it's wise for you to try and stay in the game.
He will not be able to
But
see very good.
it's a little crazy that the White Sox are as bad as they are, and just, oh my god, I feel so bad for the White Sox. What are we doing here? Again, if you guys didn't hear, the Astros have Spencer Arrighetti as the AL Rookie of the Month for August, and then we have reliever of the month for August being Josh Hader. I need all of you people that talked about Josh Hader and how he was an overpay and how we don't need another fucking closer because we have a closer. His name is Ryan Presley. I need y'all to stand the fuck up and eat all of your crow and fucking apologize. Fucking apologize to Josh Hader and never speak of his name again, because
Negatively.
if you weren't on the fucking bandwagon at the beginning of the year, it's too late for you now. No, I'm just kidding. Come on the bandwagon. Come on the bandwagon. Enjoy this because he is fucking elite. And if you guys do not follow Trevor May on Instagram, on TikTok, you need to. I didn't realize that they did this, but apparently on ESPN games, there's an alternate broadcast. I wasn't aware. And I only caught the last one, and I'm very sad about it. And it is an alternate broadcast, and it had Trevor May and Mike Petriello and Kevin Brown, who calls the games for the Orioles. Mike Petriello is, I think he athletic or is he Fangraphs? Regardless, baseball writer, deep into the analytics. But they broke down on that alternate broadcast. They broke down Josh Hader's quote unquote slider. Apparently, his fastball registers as a slider because Statcast doesn't understand that it's really a two-seam fastball. And the way that Trevor May broke it down essentially is that Josh Hader is throwing this two-seam fastball, and pockets of air are basically making this ball essentially shake until it goes to I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?" My brain was broken, and then so I listened to it on the ESPN2 broadcast, and then Trevor May was on Foul Territory, was one of the guest hosts, and he broke it down again. He has this breakdown on his TikTok, so go follow Trevor May on his TikTok, on his Instagram, and there's an amazing breakdown of Josh Hader, and he does it for a bunch of different pitchers, but breaks down these pitches and is basically letting us all know that Josh Hader's quote unquote slider, slider, it's a two-seam fastball, but the way that he throws it, it breaks Statcast. Statcast has no idea how to fucking register it, and the reason why nobody can hit it is because apparently they're expecting it to go one way and it cuts the other. And I'm like, I apparently need to be more familiar with physics because again, it breaks my brain. I'm like, can it be taught? Can other people learn how to do this? Apparently not, because arm action and hand width, all that. I'm all. So you mean to tell me that it's just all custom to literally every pitcher everywhere? Pretty much. Oh, okay. Love that for us. So the stats that both of these gentlemen have been putting up are absolutely so ridiculous. And we just all need to bow down. And everybody that talks shit about Dana Brown in the offseason for bringing in Josh Hader, I need you to eat all your fucking words. All of them. Every single last bite. Just saying. I'm just saying. Does it taste good? Good. So let's see. Yes, Spencer Arrighetti gets August Rookie of the Month for the AL, and then Jackson Merrill gets it for the NL. If you have not watched any Jackson Merrill for the San Diego Padres, you guys really need to because he is absolutely electric. He came into the league as a 20-year-old shortstop, people, that they said, hey, you know what? You've never taken a rep in center field, but go play center field for us. And he has been killing it. Probably short odds for National League Rookie of the Year. I don't bet, I don't gamble, I don't do any of that, but I would maybe put some money down on him, just saying. And again, reliever of the month for August for the AL is Josh Hader. And for the NL is Raisel Iglesias. And literally, Raisel Iglesias is, I think, the only other pitcher in the league that has a longer save streak going than Josh. I don't think he's given up a run in like 35 innings, I think. Raisel, not Josh. But the fact that Josh Hader didn't get that save the other night, I wanted to throttle Jeremy Pena just so much, so much. We have 3 with the Reds. We've already played 1. We obviously lost that. Apparently, the Cincinnati Reds are our daddies. I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware that the Cincinnati Reds had such a ridiculous record over us. I thought it was the A's. No, it's the Cincinnati Reds. Who knew? I'm hoping, though, Jordan uses Great American Small Park to his advantage and maybe gets out of his, again, home run hitting slump. He hit 3 of them in Philly.
He had 2 days ago.
I'm just saying. That was.
Or 3 days ago. I'm sorry, 3 days ago.
It's hopefully he's locked in.
He
That was
missed
at
the
home.
third one by that much, too.
Yeah. Yep. And then who was that? Was it Hampson? Garrett Hampson that was out there that robbed him? Garrett Hampson and Kyle Isbell, man. Good night. They were pesky.
Scrappy mofos, man.
I
I just really feel like when the offense is whole, then I'll take stock. Right now, we're playing with house money, and that's the way I look at it. You see some of these lineups. You had Ben Gamble in the 6 hole. You had Jake Myers, who has no business being in a major league lineup right now, the way he's hitting, batting in the 6-7 hole. And it's just like they're doing everything they can to just piece this together. They played both their catchers in a game and just said, screw it. Something happens, we'll move on. And you had Caratini at first, you had Yainer behind the dish. And I love what Joe Espada is doing. He's using his entire bench. He does not care. No fucks given. I need a pinch runner. Okay, Shea Wickham, I choose you. I pinch hit twice in a row. Things that you just never saw this Astros team do over the previous regime, who will not be named. And it's nice to see. We're pulling out all the stops because we can, and not using the Farmer's Almanac and just going, you know what? Screw it. Let's try it. It might work. And I applaud Joe Espada for doing that. I think that sort of stuff plays well to the players. I think the players love to be involved. What's the point of letting some guy ride the pine instead of, hey, can you run? Okay, go steal me a bag. Hey, can you? Caratini's this amazing pinch hitter. I think he's batting like 500 as a pinch hitter or something dumb like that. So the fact that he's constantly calling his number, it's like, keep going. It's smart. So
they finally have called up Cesar Salazar as the third catcher, because we've been playing both of our catchers.
You could have led that the other way.
I'm sorry? What?
You could have led that the other way.
I could have.
You were like, they finally called up, and I'm waiting for it. Forrest Whitley, and you're like, nope.
Nope, don't wait. No, because I've been calling for Cesar Salazar. If we're gonna continually play Victor Caratini and Yainer Diaz in the same lineup on most days, I need a third catcher there just for my peace of mind. Listen, everything else stresses me out about this game. I need a third catcher, JIC, just in case. And they finally called up Forrest Whitley.
He
Not
looked
gonna get
good.
excited.
He looked
I'm not
good.
doing it. I'm not doing it. I am not
He
getting
looked good.
excited.
He had a little Garrett Cole with the hair, a little scruff going. I know he can't do the beard, but he looked good.
I'm not doing it. I'm not. He's gotten me too excited too many times and disappointed me way too much. I can't. I can't. The f
Like
that first
97, 98 came out of his hands so easy. It was like nothing.
the first 1, 2, 3 batter, it was Tyler Stevenson had no idea. That was like, "Where did that go? Why am I here?
I'm sorry,
Do I
Forrest
even need to be
Whitley. I was
here?"
not
Okay.
familiar with your game.
Uh-huh. And but I'm not getting excited about it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it until the motherfucker stays up and is not hurt for long stretches of time. I think he is going to be an elite reliever. I really do.
I
So,
He's got closer stuff.
absolutely, absolutely. If we can put him in some of these mid-leverage situations where if it explodes in our face, it's not a hot shit pile and he can be trusted, between him and Brian Abreu as leverage setup guys, oh my god. Whew. I see, here I am getting excited. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, people. Not doing it. I'm not getting excited. I'm not.
I mean, look at it like this. He is the Presley replacement. It could be Whitley, Abreu, Hader, and that's all gas, no brakes.
Ryan Presley, you make me so sad. I want Ryan Presley to spin people to death, but maybe that could be like more matchup based. Maybe, hopefully.
I don't know that Ryan Presley is long for this. I don't know if he wants to keep pitching. I want to say he's 36, and I think where does he go
Is he a
after
free
this?
agent after this season?
I believe so.
I thought he has one more season. I don't know. You look that up. You look that up. I'm gonna give you Josh Hader's numbers because I finally found them.
Okay.
Josh Hader's numbers for August. Josh Hader's numbers for August. He had 13.1 innings pitched with a sub 1 ERA, people. Sub 1. 0.68 ERA. That's very good. I don't know if you know that. 0.68. That's not even a 1. That's so good. So good. 8 saves and 17 Ks. Now, if you guys didn't hear, the 13.1 innings pitched, that's more than one strikeout per inning, y'all. That's very fucking good. So good. You wanna know who doesn't make my orifices clench as badly? Josh Hader. Josh Hader. I'm a little bit more free and easy when it's Josh Hader in a save situation. In a non-save situation, we can have some talking points, but in a save situation, give me Josh Hader all day, every day.
Okay.
Straight fucking gas.
So Ryan Presley he signed a 2-year deal for $30 million, and it has a vesting option. Yes, for next year. The rules of that are that he had to have 50 appearances in each of 2023 and 2024, which I believe he did.
Mhm.
However, he cannot be on the IL to finish 2024. The vesting option
Oh.
also includes a $2 million buyout. So they could buy him out.
Oh, interesting.
But you could do a lot worse than Ryan Presley for $14 million.
That's true. That is true. Tom, if I were to ask you, who is your game 1 starter? What would your answer be?
Framber Valdez.
Who is your game 2 starter?
Right now. Right now.
Right now.
At this moment, I need to know where it's at. If it's on the road, I'm probably starting Yusei. If it's at home, and this is right now, I need to see more Justin. I'm not out on Justin. I lost my shit the other day when all of Twitter was out on Justin after 2 innings going, he can't start a playoff game for this team. I'm like, y'all are something stupid, because that's just where I was. Anyway, I feel like as much as I love Spencer, I love Hunter, I prefer both of them at home. And if you can align it, you start them at home. You want them
Why?
at home because it's, for me, I think as a young pitcher, you don't want the hostile environment if you can help it. You're going to want to be able to settle the nerves when runners are on and the place is a zoo. You don't want that. If you're a young guy, you probably want the confines of your own home where it's okay. I can quiet things down. The moment doesn't get my heart rate doesn't get up. I'm not going too fast. You've seen it many
I don't
times
know.
in the
Spencer carved
Bronx.
up that Phillies lineup in Citizens Bank.
Spencer carved up the Phillies. He carved up Baltimore. I'm not taking anything away from Spencer Arrighetti. I would like him to start a postseason game. However, I got to remember that's in August and not October, where even that it adds weight.
Fair.
So
Okay.
for me, if I'm a manager and I'm trying to take care of my young guy and I'm trying to manage that, I'll let the veteran go test Citizens Bank or Yankee Stadium or Target or Kauffman. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'd rather
Okay.
have them in those environments. I also feel like those guys are ground ball pitchers. Framber also, obviously, but I would say you say a little bit too, and rather have them at home. I just would.
Interesting. So I think if I'm lining it up, I think it's Fromber, I think it's Hunter, and then depending on how things pan out with JV, I think I piggyback JV and Spence.
Why?
If I tell JV, "Give me 4 innings and let it eat." If JV knows he's only gotta give me 4, Spence can take care of 4
Yeah, but then why wouldn't you use Ronell and save Spence to start?
because I'm getting Yusei to start.
Okay, you still can have Spence to start a game. Now, if you're talking, it obviously depends on the series, right? For me, I'm not opposed to starting more than 4 starters. I know that's weird because most teams have 2 aces and they can turn around and go right back to them. I don't know. I don't want to mess with their routines. Ronell is going to the pen now. So if your
Yeah,
piggyback is an option, for me, it's Ronell Blanco because he's already going to have some of that. Now, I know Hunter did that, but we're starting him. If you take Spencer and take him out of his element and now put him into a different element, does he warm up different? Is he good coming out of the pen? Does he get enough pitches? Maybe I don't want to screw with that.
that's fair. That's fair. Okay. I don't know as much as I love Spencer Arrighetti, I've been on Spencer Arrighetti's train, like, from the very beginning. I don't know if I don't think trust is the correct word. I don't know if Spencer Arrighetti and a playoff start is the right move. Maybe the lights will be too bright. I don't know. I don't think they will, but we've seen him where he's walked a couple, 3, 4, and then he starts nibbling, and then it just all unravels, and I don't know if that'll happen. I think when he gets ahead, he trusts his stuff enough to let it eat. But I think if when he gets behind in the count and all of these great lineups are gonna make him work, I don't know if that is the best environment to put him in.
So Spencer, let's see here, a little bit better at home than on the road. Whip's a little better. He's a 4 home and away because he had such struggles early on.
Right.
But he's had 8 games at home. He's had 10 games on the road. He's 3-5 at home. He's 4-6 on the road. And it's pitched deeper. It seems. No, I guess that's not the same because of the number of games. But give up 10 less earned runs. A little bit better at home. Strikeout per nine's a little higher.
The fact that Hunter has made this turnaround, that Spencer has made this turnaround, that Yusei has come over, and I always have joked when random pitchers, relievers have been DFA'd or whatnot, I always joke, "Can the Astros fix him? Can whatever our pitching lab does fix him?" And there was a great article on Fangraphs about Taylor Scott. Did you read that article?
But I heard about it.
So I'll link the Fangraphs article in the show notes. But apparently, Taylor Scott has been with 7, 10 different organizations. And apparently, he comes over here to the Astros, and we're the only organization that told him to lay off, I think it's his two seam fastball, and to throw a four seam, or to lay off the four seam and to throw the two seam. I can't remember which, but it's those two, and to throw the other one essentially, because one of the pitches had what they called, oh, I don't remember the actual term, but the batters knew essentially how the ball was going to break, and that's why they were able to just hit the shit out of it. But the other pitch that he hadn't been throwing has less velocity, but it's better, and the Astros were like, "Throw that one." He's, "Oh, okay, but I can throw the other one for higher velocity." "We don't give a fuck. Throw the one that's better, that's a lower velocity, and we don't care. Get him out that way." And it's got that induced vertical break, a la Christian Javier, that rising fastball, essentially, and that's what it is. You mean to tell me that he's gone through 10 different organizations, and we're the first one to tell him Don't do that instead. Like that in and of itself breaks my brain because you would think he's been with a bunch of different organizations, obviously, and some what I would call pretty good pitching teams. But the fact that he comes over here to the Astros and we quote unquote unlock something, again, we keep doing it.
There was a game that they called, the ESPN guys called, and struggling with names. There was a Latin guy that's on the call. I, I should know his name and I don't. And anyway, he
Edward
talked.
Perez?
Yes,
Eduardo Perez?
Eduardo Perez. Thank you. He spoke to something similar, and he was basically saying that clubs have philosophies where it's we want our pitchers to do X, we want our pitchers to do Y, and it's like a certain pitch type. They're like big spin guys, big fastball guys. The Astros are big spin guys. That's some of the first thing they talked about is okay, we want to throw more spin and try to get away from fastballs. Now that can be detrimental to your arm. So obviously you see the IL list and it's lengthy. However, it can tend to improve guys because major league hitters are trained to hit fastballs. They're trained to hit mistakes. Throw me a fastball anywhere. As Suzy likes to say, dick high fastballs, you just can't throw them there. Doesn't matter how good that guy is. Doesn't matter what his batting average is. He's trained to hit that thing. So you have to be able to get him off of that. And I think that's really what the Astros have tried to do with a lot of these pitchers when they bring them in is look, we don't want you to stop throwing your fastballs. We just can't have them expecting them. And now they've got guys really working with a lot of spin, sliders, sweepers, curves, stuff like that. And you see the results because you say just comes over. He could not, absolutely could not get through games in Toronto. He was just getting lit up. He had one or two here or there, but there's a 5 ERA guy. And now he's K'ing guys in record numbers.
Yep. Yep. Finally went 6 innings. Finally went 6 innings. I think the last time he went 6 innings was one game back in May.
I thought that was really interesting because people have talked about Yusei being this innings eater. They keep calling him an innings eater. I'm like, he's 5 2/3, but 6 innings was great the last time out. I think for what they've been able to do for him, and you can just see he absolutely thrives, much like Hector Neris, on being in an environment where it matters. You see
Mhm.
him at the end of these starts, just fist pumps and yells and demonstrative. He feels like, hey, I'm playing for something, and this is my time. I need to do it.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's just an Astros culture thing, if that's just you heard about Hayward when he got interviewed by Julia, who did such a great job. And it's look, these guys win. They come in here and all they want to do is win. And all they do is constantly work towards winning. And it's infectious. Everybody feeds off of it. You're seeing the best versions of a lot of these guys because they understand it. Everyone else is here for one thing. It's not for money, it's not for fame, it's not for commercials. They're all trying to win a ring.
It's for the ring, baby. So I found the article, and it's a two-seamer. I'm gonna just read this real quick. The numbers speak for themselves. Coming into the current campaign, the right-hander had made 39 big league appearances and logged a 9 ERA over 46 innings. This year, Scott has come out of the Astros bullpen 53 times and boasts a 1.86 ERA over 58 innings. He has allowed just 32 hits and has a 26% strikeout rate. So the four-seamer is a pitch he throws sparingly in the past, and they basically said, throw your four-seamer more. Ditch your two-seamer. So he throws the four-seamer, and they said what basically changed for him. He said he learned about vertical approach angle, which is guys with lower slots throwing four seams up in the zone and creating a flatter angle for the four seams coming to the plate. They discovered that gets a lot of swings and misses. That's when I started to throw four seams. Oh, okay. Vertical approach angle. We have smart listeners. We have smart fans. We have heard about induced vertical break for 3 seasons now because of Christian Javier and his 92-mile-an-hour fastball that plays that quote unquote plays up because of this induced vertical break. So we're just learning all of these new fun terms. Now you get to learn about vertical approach angle. And apparently the new I say like hot thing to learn about is seam shifted wake. Have you heard about this, Tom? Essentially, it's how airplanes stay in the fucking air. Apparently, depending on where the seams are, how you're holding the ball, the seam shifted wake, and you just putting a finger on the seam or over this will make the ball do the different things. And I'm all, okay, yeah, isn't that how you pitch? I mean, isn't that what it is? And apparently the seam shifted wake is the fancy name for that. I'm all, oh, okay. Like now we know.
The funny thing is, I always see every ESPN broadcast. I feel like I always see the camera catch Verlander. Verlander's always got a baseball in his hand, and he's always talking to Hunter or Spencer or whoever, and he's over here manipulating this baseball. And I guarantee you, at no point in time is Justin Verlander going, the seam shifted wake on this ball. If you hold it just like this, he's never saying that, but that's what he's doing. He's, you know what? I grip it like this, and it just does a little of that or whatever. Very toned down with the vocabulary, but it's the same thing.
Yeah. And again, when I said earlier about the whole, can other people learn how to throw Josh Hader's quote unquote slider? No, because of how Josh Hader is body wise, like how he throws, if he supinates or pronates. I don't know what is the difference between supinates and pronates. It's however you throw like your arm. So if you go one way, it's supination, and if you go the other way, it's pronation. I don't know which one is which though. $100 million, I would lose it because I don't know the difference. But apparently the bigwigs know, but that's how you fucking turn your arm. And apparently that's everybody has one of these tendencies, like the natural tendencies, and everyone's wondering how Sean Manaea has figured it out and changed his mechanics, and they literally told him to change his arm angle, and just dropping his arm like 2 or 3 inches apparently has made all of the difference in the world. 2 or 3 inches makes all of the difference in the world. 2 and 3 inches does make a lot of difference, but I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware that you drop your arm 2 or 3 inches and then it does different things. I'm like, oh, all right then. You learn something new every day, people. You learn something new every day. So there was lots of words on the podcast. We're going to go real quick over the Reds. I don't know. The Reds are decimated with their starting pitching rotation. I don't even know who's starting for them. Apparently Nick Martinez is starting tomorrow against Spencer Arrighetti. And then Thursday is Rhett Lauder. Oh, that'll be interesting.
Seriously? Oh no. Rhett Lauder's the truth.
Yeah, we are getting no hit by
that
Rhett
is
Lauder.
The number 2 prospect for the Cincinnati Reds. He was drafted, I think, 2 years ago, and he is absolute serious business.
Wasn't he like the number 2 guy at LSU?
Oh, okay. I don't think, was it LSU? I feel like it was another school.
You might. Am I thinking of the right guy? I want to say if Paul Skeens wasn't Paul Skeens, I feel like we would be talking way more about Rhett Lauder.
Yeah. Wake Forest.
Wake Forest. Okay, there we go. He's got some
locks.
Pitched against Paul Skeens. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's going to be Rhett Lauder versus Hunter Brown on Wednesday.
What a match!
Oh, excuse me, Thursday.
Rhett has been human though. He's 6-4 with a 3.64 ERA and 22 starts in the minors. 108 innings pitched, 113 strikeouts with a 1.15 WHIP.
Yeah, so it'll be very interesting to see how we do with Rhett Lauder. Obviously, if you watch this team for any amount of time, you know that if we've not seen a pitcher before, it's not a good look for us. Not a good look for us. Rhett Lauder is going 8 and Kane 13. We're going to call it now.
No. Yainer's going to take him deep. He's going to go 6. Stroh's going to win a low ball game.
1-0?
Maybe 2. The pen gives up 1.
Okay.
Hader nails it down.
All right. We'll see. We will see. So let me see what Rhett Lauder
magic number for your Houston Astros is 18. That means a combination of 18 wins or 18 losses by the Seattle Mariners will clinch the division for the Astros. There are only 8 series left in the season.
It's getting close, guys. It's getting very close. Let's see. He has... What kind of pitches do you have, Rhett Lauder?
Good ones.
Very good ones. My screen went out, so I don't know. I can't look at the fan graphs because apparently my computer doesn't want you guys to know what Rhett Lauder throws. Guys, it cares nothing about that. All right, so he has... What do you have, Rhett Lauder? I'm clicking on you. Why do you hate me, fan graphs? I'm not going to tell you, apparently, because my computer hates me, so therefore it doesn't want you to know. It wants you to be surprised. Watch the game on Thursday. You'll find out. Literally every time I click on pitch info, my screen goes black. It's no. You will not know. We do not want you to know what kinds of pitches Rhett Lauder has. I want to say he has a really mean fastball, though. Let's see. His stuff plus number is up there, too. Gross. He's going to no-hit us for 4 innings.
You know what else is gross? Ben Joyce threw a 105.5 mile an hour fastball.
I assume the Dodgers won.
It was 2-2 when he did that, middle of the ninth.
Oh. Wow. You know that Ben Joyce has an identical twin brother? That also pitches?
I want to say you told me that.
Yeah. How would you like to be Ben Joyce's identical twin brother that also pitches?
And not be able to throw that hard?
I feel like that would give me a complex if I was Ben Joyce's identical twin brother.
Something.
So, all right, we're gonna wrap this up. We've been talking for quite a long time, and we went on all kinds of various
We
roads.
missed you guys.
We did. I wanted to give you extra content because we haven't been here for so long. And we appreciate all of you for hanging out with us and doing the things. There was a road trip involved. Go listen to the All the Balls edition when I record that with Kelsey on Thursday for all of that information because that was a whole hell of a good time. I apparently am no longer allowed to watch any sort of live baseball game anywhere.
On the road. Nope.
Nope, I'm not allowed to do it.
Suzy,
Not allowed
Suzy's
to.
an L. Her record's okay, I think.
I have no idea. I have no idea, but I'll just stay my ass at home. That's fine. I don't need to see ballparks. Who cares about ballparks? I don't want to see them. With that, we are going to wrap it up. Before I do that, Tom, where can the peoples find you on the interwebs?
On Twitter, at Third Coast Tom. It's where I do the most of the shenanigans. On Instagram, at TCTom1. I moonlight there sometimes. On the PSF app, one of these days, I will beg Suzy, I won't beg, but I will ask her very nicely to do another show with me because we have been missed. It has been a while, and we should probably
It
do a
has been a while.
show. The shows are really good. We should support them. It's a lot of fun. Football season's coming. If you are a fan of whatever team, I know Houston's weird. You got fans for Packers and Cowboys and Niners and Steelers. It's weird. I don't understand it, but you can still get on the PSF app and watch the game with your fellow fans. So you're not in there fighting it out in a bar with a bunch of Texans fans because the Texans are going to be very fucking good. So come to the PSF app, come catch a show with me and Suzy. Follow us on the socials to find out when. It is a great time. It is the best place to watch a game when you are not at the game.
The Dodgers won 6-2.
Damn.
They put up 4 runs in the top of the 10th.
Once Mr. Joyce was done.
I assume so. Yeah, it has Contreras got the L. I don't know who that is. So I assume, really and truly, they only have the one. Ben Joyce got Teoscar to fly out, Will Smith to strike out, and then Tommy Edman to strike out. Roansy Contreras. Oh my God, really? That's precious.
Quick question, Suzy. Do you
Yes.
think Yordan Alvarez will hit 8 home runs between now and the end of the season? The over-under on Prize Picks is 37.5. I have him. I need him to hit 38 for me to get paid.
I think he does.
I know it's like a week when he wants to, right? When he's locked in. 2 here, 3 there, 3 there.
I think he does. Yes, because of course Mookie Betts hits a fucking home run.
That boy good.
Oh,
I hate him.
Roansy Contreras. What are we doing? They intentionally walk Shohei to get to Mookie. Pick your poison. Pick your fucking poison. Because Mookie can do that to you too. 87-mile-an-hour slider, just
Yeah, but
right
one's
there.
left, one's right. That's probably they wanted right on versus right on left.
It doesn't matter.
That's true.
It does not matter. So with that, we are going to wrap it up. We appreciate all of you guys for listening, hanging out. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the like button on the episode. If you listen to us, watch us on YouTube, hit the big red subscribe button on the YouTubes if you haven't already. If you have not already given us a 5-star rating, Apple, Spotify, why the fuck not? Come on now, people. It's very easy. All 5s. And then, if you want to be extra super nice, you can just tippy tap some words, some nice words, and just say how awesome we are and leave a review. That would be also super awesome. But if you don't want to be super awesome, that's on you. I'm not going to judge. So with that, we are going to say goodnight and yay, baseball.